What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another. Okay. To another movie review. Tonight's a special one. Instead of just me and Arlo, clearly MG,
Arlo
Mark.
and I, Arlo and I. That's
Okay,
all.
whatever. Okay, MG, Mark, and Adam was just in here, but I guess he dropped. But I'm pretty sure he'll be back on. Um, Well, uh, to the due to the passing of the late great Wes Craven, who passed away last week, um, Arlo and I just finished doing the Terminator film. That we was kind of in the midst of deciding which movies we wanted to do. And then when Wes Craven passed away, Arlo gave me the idea of let's just do Nightmare on Elm Street, to honor his memory. And that's what we're gonna do because we feel like it's the
That's
right
that's
thing.
Arlo with an idea for you.
Yeah, and Arlo and I decided to do this, and Arlo, decided let's bring MG and Mark and Adam on.
You mean Arlo decided?
Arlo and
Yeah,
I.
so
Once again, Arlo decided.
all right,
Jesus Christ.
okay.
It's true.
Um, so tonight we're going to review A Nightmare on Elm Street, the 1984 film. Now, this is the movie that really skyrocketed Wes Craven into the status that he eventually got to. The movie stars John Saxon, Ronee Blakley, Heather Langenkamp, Amanda Wyss, Nick Corey, and first timer Johnny Depp. This is Johnny Depp's very first film that he's ever done, and of course, um, legendary Robert Englund comes and plays Freddy Krueger. Um, so Arlo, Mark, MG. Um, I'm pretty sure. I mean, it's no. I'm pretty sure that we've all seen A Nightmare on Elm Street at one point in our lives. And Arlo, of course, give your thoughts on uh, what you was expecting heading into this movie. And then after Arlo, MG and Mark, you go guys give your thoughts on Wes Craven, the director, or your thoughts of what it was like watching Nightmare on Elm Street for the very first time. So Arlo, go.
Uh, um, fuck. Pressure. What? No, for real though. This movie, it was, it was good. I wanted to see it, so I watched it. MG, Virtuoso Sports. ProSynthesis.com/Virtuoso Sports. TES, Virtuoso Sports. Well, Mark?
Okay, what are we talking about again?
Your first time watching Nightmare on Elm Street.
Oh, my first time. Going into it, I kind of figured it was going to be a good movie, just based off hype from like everyone I've ever talked to about like before watching it. So I was like kind of just going into it, just like, hey, this should be a really good movie overall.
Okay, MG, are you there?
MG's not good at multitasking, folks. So I bet you he's probably typing or I don't know, just counting his fingers or some shit.
I don't know what the fuck this dude's doing, yeah, let's get on to the review. So, the movie starts out. We see a man walking into a boiler room, and he starts making his glove. Now, for those of you who don't know, this is how we get introduced to Freddy Krueger. It's kind of funny because Wes Craven, when given the idea of Nightmare on Elm Street, When he chose the Freddy Krueger name, it comes from his past experiences. Like, we're gonna see that Freddy Krueger, the reason why he got the name Freddy is because a kid that bullied him in school, his name was Freddy, and Krueger was the name of a character that he had in his very first film he's directed, Last House on the Left. But his name was Krug, and we see that Freddy Krueger wears a fedora hat. The reason why he specifically chose that fedora hat was because he said one night a homeless dude just walked into Wes Craven's front porch. I think Wes Craven said he was like 8 or 9 at the time, and he had a fedora hat on. And then he saw Wes Craven. He just stared at him for like 20 seconds. Then he just walked off. And Wes Craven said that was very creepy. So I kind of like how the creation of this Freddy Krueger character comes from past experiences. And also a fun fact: when Wes Craven created this film, Disney was interested in doing this film. Of course, they want to tone down Wes Craven for the violence, but Wes Craven said no. But I thought that was interesting. Like, Disney was interested in doing this movie. That's interesting. But yeah, back to the review. So we see somebody walk into the boiler room, picking up supplies and crafting his weapon of choice, which is of course the gloves with nails. Wes Craven wanted to differentiate Freddy Krueger from all the other serial killers. So we see him slowly working on the glove, and then we finally see the reveal of the finished product. And then while that happens, a big Nightmare on Elm Street appears on the screen. And then we see Freddy chasing this woman named Tina, who's played by Amanda Wyss. We see Tina, she's like running around in a boiler room being stalked by Freddy. It's a very claustrophobic and tense atmosphere. Like, it's a boiler room. You don't really know what the hell is going on. You just know there's this dude who seems to be chasing this girl. So a lot of times we see, just her, trying to get out of there, and we hear Freddy laughing in some cases. And then all of a sudden we see like Freddy's knives, punch through a sheet, and he slowly tears it down, and he appears in front of Tina. He goes to run. Tina goes to run, but of course she goes into a dead end. And then she looks and she sees nobody chasing her. And just when you think Tina's kind of safe, all of a sudden we see Freddy just scream and pop up behind her and grab her. Before she gets killed, she wakes up, and we finally learn that she was in a nightmare. So I kind of like how that this scene already sets the stage for what kind of movie we're going to be in. It's a killer that attacks people in their nightmares, which I think is a really cool concept. So of course, her mother checks on her, and she said it was just a nightmare, Mom. And then we see that her nightgown, we see the slashes in her nightgown. So the nightmare was real as shit. So she grabs her cross and goes to sleep. And this is the first time we meet these creepy little girls. 1, 2, Freddy's coming for you. 3, 4, better lock your door. 5, 6, grab a crucifix. 7, 8, never sleep. Better stay up late. 9, 10, never sleep again. This is the first time we meet those creepy little girls. And then we get introduced to Heather Langenkamp, Johnny Depp, of course, Tina, and Nick Corey, who plays Rod, Tina's boyfriend. And Tina's trying to explain to them about how, this dream felt really real, and felt like he was still in the room with me. And Heather Langenkamp, who plays Nancy, she says, that's funny because I kind of had a weird dream myself. And then, Johnny Depp, now this is when Johnny Depp was incredibly young. And this was his first film, and it was kind of weird because me and Arlo joked about this. Um, it's kind of weird seeing Johnny Depp play like a normal character because, of course, Johnny Depp wanted to be most known for his Tim Burton films. But it's refreshing to see Johnny Depp play normal for once, but he's trying to tell them that it was just a dream, and it was whatsoever. And they decide, and Tina decides because her mom's gonna be out of town. No, she wants Nancy and Johnny Depp, Glenn, that's his name, to spend the night. So Arlo, we got a very interesting start to the film. I mean, we see the supposed killer creating the weapon, and we see that he already has his target on a specific victim, which is Tina, and we also meet the cast of characters. So Arlo, Mark, MG just dropped. I'm pretty sure he'll be back, and Adam. Go ahead and give your thoughts on the opening scene and the introduction of our cast of characters in this film.
Alright, yeah, I mean, we got introduced in a very weird way. The first time I watched it, I really did not pick up on the first scene of him actually making the knives and stuff. But when I went back and watched it, I'm like, oh shit, this is the beginning, and what we know about it now, what we knew about it before, it was like a pretty iconic scene with that, and then the girls and stuff, and, this like running after people, and the slash and the hand and all that stuff. And then the characters, I didn't hate any of them at first, or any of them at all. Yeah, throughout the movie I didn't hate any of them, so that's always a plus. Yeah, Tina's the first victim, and I'm intrigued so far. Adam?
What the fuck? Everybody's dropping. Mark, are you still there?
Mark is getting some food, so we'll get back to him.
Okay. Well, it was it was very interesting because, like you said, we're actually seeing the killer create the weapon, and I thought that was a really interesting touch. And so for the next scene, we see Tina, Glenn, and Nancy at Tina's house. And it's kind of a funny scene where Johnny Depp tries to tell his parents, that he's away and stuff, and he has like a cassette tape of like noises and crashes and shit, and he's trying to like convince his parents, that he's fine. So I kind of thought that was funny, and then we get to an interesting point here because Nancy reveals that Nancy, played by Heather Langenkamp, was dreaming about the same guy. The hat, horribly disfigured face, and the nails. So I thought that was interesting because I thought, okay, these two girls are dreaming about the same person that was after them in their dreams. Oh, that's interesting. So while this realization comes in, they hear a noise from outside, and then Johnny Depp goes to check on it, and then we find out that it's Tina's boyfriend, boyfriend Rod, who basically tackles him to the ground and shit. And long story short, Rod basically invites himself in, saying that me and Tina got the master bedroom, you guys can have the rest and whatsoever. So Johnny Depp, being like a normal guy, I mean, he figures, okay, well, I mean, if Rod's about to get some, it's my chance to get me some too. So he tries to get it in with Nancy, but Nancy doesn't want to because she's still kind of freaked out at the fact that her and Tina are dreaming about the same person that killed her. No, not killed her, but it was after them. I think it was kind of a funny moment here where Johnny Depp is basically, he ain't gonna get any from Nancy. He's laying on the couch. He's hearing, Rod and Tina go at it in the master bedroom very loudly. And Johnny Depp is just laying there. He goes, "This sucks." I just like the way he said, "This sucks." I mean, yeah, I kind of related with Johnny Depp. I mean, damn, my friend's having sex with this girl, and I'm just here on the couch while Nancy's in the other, Nancy sleeping in Tina's room. This does suck. So, after they sleep together, we find out that well, we don't really find it out, but we kind of get a little hint that Rod was kind of having weird dreams as well. He doesn't say, but he kind of hints at it, so I kind of raise an eyebrow at it,
Yeah, he talked about having bad dreams. Guys can have bad dreams too.
Right. I thought was interesting. And then we get to a pretty iconic moment where Nancy is sleeping, but there's a crucifix on the wall. But I think it fell down. It fell down.
No,
and
it was on the table, and then she put it next to her. I think when she was sleeping.
Yeah, that. And then we see a figure come through the wall and looked like it was about to get Nancy. It was a really cool moment where Freddy is we see Freddy through the wall just looking down at Nancy. But then he goes back and then Nancy looks up and then she puts the crucifix on the wall. So I'm that was pretty cool. So Tina's sleeping, and she hears something go through the window. Then she goes to check it out because, of course, whenever there is a very strange noise, have to go investigate it. And she goes into the alleyway. Then just some weird shit, we see a goat out of nowhere, and then we see a trash can lid just fall, and then we see a figure coming out of the alleyway, and then she looks down the alleyway and she sees Freddy coming towards her. Freddy's just laughing, and then the cool effect of Freddy's arm is just stretching out, and the nails just scraping the walls, and he's just laughing. Now keep in mind, we don't necessarily see Freddy, but we see quick glimpses of his horribly disfigured skin. But just the shot of Freddy with the arm stretched out and shit, that was cool. And then they give Robert Englund great lines in this film. They give Robert Englund great lines, and they clearly gave Robert Englund a lot to do. This is one of my favorite lines that he does, where Tina goes, "Dear God," and then Freddy goes, "This is God." I really like that. So Tina's running away. Freddy's chasing her. And all of a sudden, Freddy just pops right in front of Tina because Tina's in a nightmare. And Freddy plays with the rules with nightmares. He has the power to go from place to place. So she runs, tries to get back to her house. And then Freddy comes out and goes, "Hey, Tina, look!" Takes his hand, cuts one of his fingers off, let the green blood fly out just to fuck with her. Like, you could just tell from early on that Robert Englund's having fun with this role. Like you can tell, and I don't blame him because it's a relatively fun role to play. So Tina tries to get in. Freddy grabs her. They fall onto a table. And then Tina like takes Freddy's face off. And it's like a fucked up looking like skeleton. It's like laughing wildly, like ah! And then we get a really cool moment here where we kind of go back to the reality world where Tina's just like flopping onto the bed and shit. And Rod is just like Tina, what's wrong? And then all of a sudden we just see like her nightgown open, and then we see just and like a slash on her stomach and blood's just coming out. And then like we see Tina just levitate pretty much, spinning around, hits Rod. And like Rod just like he's helpless. He doesn't know what to do. Like his girlfriend is somehow being killed, but he doesn't know what to do. And she's like climbing up on the walls, bleeding to death. And then Tina just falls down. So very graphic death scene. This is Freddy's first kill. It was a very graphic one. It was kind of a shocker too because you would kind of think Tina is going to be the lead girl in this film, and Nancy would be more of the side character. But no, like he kills Tina like 20 minutes into the film, which I thought was interesting. So Arlo, and let me see who's back, if anybody's back. MG, are you here?
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you. Okay, well, Arlo, your thoughts on Johnny Depp, basically getting no play from Nancy, and we see Freddy's first kill, and Mark, are you still there? Okay, I guess not. Okay, so Mad Genius, go ahead after Arlo. Give your thoughts on, heading in the Nightmare on Elm Street for the first time you've watched it. And we just got to the part where Freddy just killed Tina, with
His first victim.
His first victim was Tina, where she's like all over the walls and shit and all that stuff. So give your thoughts on that, and so Arlo, you go, and then after Arlo, MG, and Mark, if you can hear us, just chime in if you can.
All right. We got a great opening with just figuring out what was happening, who was there, and all that stuff, and then we got introduced to the characters at the school and stuff, and then we get back to Nancy's house, and ensues from there. Like the phone call and stuff, I thought was entertaining. Johnny Depp in this movie, I had no idea that was him until like you look it up and shit. But yeah, like him getting no play, I'm like, okay, whatever. But yeah, the chase scene and the kill and stuff, I thought that was really cool. I like how they did like the effects for it. That's really like iconic, and that's like one of the biggest things I've brought out of the movie was that scene. But the other scene when he was running, it looked like Vince McMahon walking. So yes, very entertaining. Well, he has something stuck up his ass, but nonetheless, it was good. I don't know what was up with the long ass arms, but I still thought it was
It's a nightmare.
good.
Freddy can do whatever the fuck he wants in a nightmare.
Okay, it just didn't seem like he had to, but whatever. And yeah, the killing and stuff, and when she pulled his face off, I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool. But yeah, the kill scene, I enjoyed it. Um, yeah, not too much to that, but they did a really good job, especially for what time they were in. MG.
MJ, are you there? Oh, I guess something's fucking up with him, I guess. Huh. Alright, well, MG, if whenever you can get back in, uh, let us know. Wow. If I have these people in, then they're dropping like flies. They must have fallen asleep or something. I don't know. So after Tina dies, um, Rod basically, he flees through the window because, and at the police station we meet John Saxon, who plays a cop, Nancy's father. For those who don't know what John Saxon is, he was in Enter the Dragon, one of the most kick-ass movies of all time, and he's practically in. Make a long story short, Nancy is questioned by her father, and she explains. I thought she did a really good job. I thought Heather Langenkamp did a really good job with this scene. Basically, explaining that, to summarize, that Tina dreamed someone was trying to kill her. I really liked Heather Langenkamp's acting in that scene. I thought she pulled it off pretty well. And the next day, Nancy goes to school, and then while she's going to school, Rod appears. Rod appears, grabs Nancy, and he basically proclaims his innocence. Saying that he didn't do it, he didn't kill Tina, somebody else did. But just before he eventually gets arrested by John Saxon. So Rod's arrested, and at school, Nancy falls asleep during class. And when she wakes up, she sees Tina in a body bag, going, "Nancy, Nancy." And it was kind of a funny moment where she's like trying to follow Tina, and then and also fun fact too, the teacher, isn't she the girl that played the teacher? Isn't she in the Insidious films?
Hmm?
The woman that played Nancy's teacher in her class.
What about
Isn't
her?
she in the Insidious films?
I have no idea. This was from like 30 years, 25 years after that was released, so.
No, bullshit. You could still recognize her. Let me see. Because her voice sounded very familiar and her face sounded very familiar. Let me check that real quick. If one of the viewers could put that in the chat, I would greatly appreciate it. But I could have sworn that was her. I just want to be sure. Just give me a second, folks. Yes, that is her. Yes, yeah, okay, I thought so. I thought so. So she plays like the psychic lady in Insidious. Yeah, so I thought that was pretty cool to see her in an earlier role. But so while Nancy's like trying to chase the Tina body bag, she runs into like hall monitors. Oh my god, I fucking hated those people. But she runs into a hall monitor. Then the hall monitor goes, "Hey, where's your pass?" And Nancy goes, "Screw your pass," and then runs away. And while she's running away, we hear somebody go, "Hey, Tina!" And then with the Freddy glove, "No running in the hallways," and starts laughing at her. So I'm like, okay, so she's in a nightmare. She is in a nightmare. And if you kind of pay attention, the hall monitor is kind of wearing the sweater that Freddy was wearing. So Nancy goes into the boiler room, and when she goes to the boiler room, Freddy's there, and then Nancy goes, "Who are you?" And then Freddy once again fucking with people, just like takes the glove and cuts his stomach, and we see like maggots and shit coming out, and he's like laughing about it. And I'm like, man, this Freddy dude is a creepy fuck. He's a weird, creepy dude, man. He's like just slowly walking towards her with the glove. And it looks like the same boiler room that Tina was in the very beginning of the film. It looks like the same exact boiler room. So she runs into a dead end, and Freddy is just like slowly walking, close to her with the the knife scraping against the metal, like laughing and shit. And she's like, "This is only a dream. You're not real." And Freddy goes, "Come to Freddy." And then Freddy goes to hit her. And then Nancy goes, "God damn you!" And then she burns herself on a hot pipe. And wakes up hysterically in class. So she leaves, and then she notices that the same burn is on her arm. So I'm like, okay, so like the people are because Tina's nightgown gets torn to shreds, Tina dying in the reality world, and the burn on Nancy's arm, proof that these dreams are real. That these dreams are real as fuck. And it's a very cool, interesting concept. I really do like it. And we don't know much about this Freddy killer, which I have no problem with. Sometimes it's scary not to know who the killer is. Why do you think Halloween was so successful? Well, it's a lot scarier when there's no motive. So, and this is the beginning of Nancy. This ain't really the beginning, but this is where the plants are seeded that Nancy doesn't want to go to sleep. Like, she does not want to go to sleep, and I don't blame her. So, your thoughts, and let me see, and MG and Mark, if you guys are there, give your thoughts. But I'll go.
Yeah. After the whole murder and stuff of I mean, not murder, like what happened to Tina and stuff. I'm like, oh shit, what's gonna happen? And then what a logical person would do after a bitch has been sliced and cut up and levitated, the motherfucker jumps out the window. And fuck this shit, I don't need this. Yeah, I mean, that's only that makes logical sense. Like, there's a, especially you or me or something. Like, there's a dead white bitch in the room, and you're the only one that's in there.
Dead white bitch. Wow.
You're the first one to blame. Just say that.
Wasn't he white too?
Yeah, but I'm just saying for you or me, if that situation occurs, you out there. You out that motherfucker.
Oh yeah. Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, like a normal person, he gets the fuck out of there. And then there was like the cops and shit, and then Nancy and Johnny Depp and stuff. Like there and like see all the blood and the dead shit, and they're like more like mortified and stuff. And then we see um the officer, and then we find out that the officer is Nancy's dad, and we're introduced to that and the police aspect of it, looking for him. She's having trouble with all this, and yeah, then they set her up and get the ride, and I'm like, oh, alright, that's very early into the movie. And then we see the school scene where this dumbass is running, is talking like he's Floyd Mayweather. And then out of nowhere, there's like Nancy in a body bag, a trail of blood. Tina.
Oh, come on, man.
What? You want to say? Yeah, then Nancy sees like the trail of blood, the body bag where Tina is in, and she's like saying shit, like help me or something, and she's on the ground and she gets like pulled away, and I'm like, this is 100% dream. Duh. In the hall pass monitor. Yeah. Dead bitch in a body bag.
Yeah, no normal person's gonna see a dead girl in a body bag being dragged away.
Yeah. And there's a hall pass monitor, like you said, with like the stripes and stuff. Yeah, they get and then like she turns around, it's like Freddy's hand with the girls things. I'm like, oh, she fucked. But no, she gets out of it. She burns her arm on the boiler room, and yeah, she wakes up screaming and stuff, and gets the fuck out of school.
Yeah, like, yeah, really interesting concept. MG, Mark, guys there?
Yeah, I'm back.
Oh, okay. So yeah, Mark, give your thoughts on Tina dying, and we just talked about the school scene, and yeah, just give your thoughts on the movie at this point.
Okay. Well, my thoughts on the movie so far into this part.
Mark? Okay, you must have had some sort of
That's some great analysis there, Mark.
yeah. Thank you for the analysis. I apologize. I don't know what's going on with MG and Mark right now, but probably having
They have
problems.
insightful comments.
Yeah, very insightful. Very insightful, Mark. Thank you. So we meet Nancy. Back.
And I thought in the part of the movie where Nancy.
Wait, what? What, Mark? His connection must be breaking up. I don't know.
Just explain like what happened a little bit, and then he'll give his thoughts on it.
Oh, okay. Well, Nancy. Well, after watching, her best friend die, she goes to school, but then her best friend's boyfriend grabs her, trying to convince her that he had nothing to do with it. But then he gets arrested because he's the top suspect. So Nancy, heading into school, she falls asleep, and then she sees her best friend. Then she wakes up and sees her best friend in a body bag being dragged away. So Nancy follows the body bag, runs into a hall monitor, who turns out to be Freddy. So Nancy goes to the boiler room. Freddy runs up to her. He tries to kill her, then she burns herself to wake herself up. And Nancy wakes up. She's freaking out, leaves the school, and she sees the burn on her arm, giving further proof that these dreams they're as real as they can get. So, yeah. So, Mark, your thoughts on that scene when you watched it, if you can remember. Okay. Yeah, I apologize for that, folks. I don't know what the fuck is going on. I mean, they were perfect. Everybody was fine before the show started, and now it seems like I don't know. But so we go back to Nancy, talking to Rod while he's in jail, and this scene is interesting to me because. What was the plays Rod name again? His name was Nick Corey. I gotta give Nick Corey props. I kind of like his acting in this scene. I thought he did a really good job with this scene, where he's talking about where he basically, make a long story short, reveals that he's been having the same dreams as well. So Nancy, Tina, and Rod had been having these same dreams. And it's kind of funny because Wes Craven said that during filming this film, Nick Corey was kind of dealing with a drug addiction at the time. I think it was on cocaine or heroin at the time. And Nick Corey reveals in an interview that he was actually high filming that scene. He was actually high when he filmed that scene. And Heather Langenkamp said in an interview that because notice how sweaty he was, Arlo.
What was he high off of?
I think heroin or cocaine. It was one of those two.
Wow.
Yeah, but anybody here notice that he was kind of sweaty in the scene? Arlo, did you notice that?
I mean, I thought that was just like running and shit or hiding from people. I didn't know it was this.
It was nighttime, Arlo. He was arrested early in the morning, bruh.
What are you talking about? What scene?
When Nancy is talking to Rod while Rod is in jail.
I wasn't thinking about that. I was thinking about like, why the fuck are they letting her talk to him like this? He's arrested for first-degree murder, and she's talking. Okay.
Well, yeah, that's a good point. But the dude was sweaty in this scene, and I'm like, why the fuck is he so sweaty in this scene? But then they say he was high at the time, and Heather Langenkamp was shocked because even though he was high, he was basically given the best performance of his career in this particular scene. Because I really thought Nick Corey did a really good job in this scene. And then now I know that he was high doing it, and I'm like, oh, well. So that's very impressive. I like to know how he would have been sober. So he explains that that he's having the same exact dreams. He's been dreaming about the same guy with the knives for fingers. Okay. So Nancy realizes this, and then she's about to leave, and then Roz says, "You still believe I did it?" And then Nancy goes, "No," and then she runs off. So there's definitely some shit going on right here because okay, Arlo, wouldn't that kind of freak you out that you have a nightmare and then all your friends are having nightmares about the same exact guy? Wouldn't that be weird?
Yeah.
Very weird. That would definitely freak me out.
Unless we're all just dreaming about pussy. That just makes sense.
That makes sense, but not
Did you
when.
say
But not.
pussy?
Oh, MG!
What?
Wow,
10 out of 10?
finally join us.
Yeah, I was here before.
You
You
was
guys
here.
just couldn't hear me. I heard you guys though.
Yeah, he
Oh,
said, "Could you guys hear me?"
Yeah, it was really interesting. You know.
okay.
Yeah.
Wait. Did you guys hear? Could you guys hear me? And okay. All
Look,
right.
I was here the entire I could hear you the entire time, but you guys couldn't
Yeah.
hear me.
Yeah, microphone issues here.
Mic-
Technical
It wasn't
difficulties.
my microphone. My microphone's fine. That's some Google Plus shit.
Oh.
Thank you, Google.
God damn Google Plus.
My internet keeps lagging. I apologize.
Yeah. Fuck that. Well, since you're finally here, MG, go ahead and give your quick thoughts on the movie at this point.
Freddy Krueger scares the shit out of me. Uh,
Well,
Not still. When I was little though. I didn't want to go to sleep when I was little. Imagine
what'd you
somebody being
do?
able to kill you from your dreams, right?
Yeah, I mean, what'd you do? Did you take like drugs or something to keep yourself awake, or?
Uh, I don't know what I would do. If it was gonna be drugs, though, it would have to be some real legit shit. Cause eventually you got to go to sleep.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I could fall asleep with a shotgun and it just appear in my dreams or what. But um, I don't know. Like Freddy Krueger, to me, he's my favorite. He's my favorite horror film villain of all time. So
I mean,
Makes
probably
sense.
the one that you can do the least about.
yeah, exactly.
Yes, and it's kind of funny you say that about you'd be scared to go to sleep because another inspiration for Wes Craven was because there was a story in Asia that back in the 70s there was a story in Asia that a bunch of hospital patients were dying in their sleep, and I think there was one case where a kid um didn't want to go to sleep. A kid did not want to go to sleep. Like he was trying to tell his parents, "I don't want to go to sleep. I'll die." These are real life stories too. Wes Craven said this that I don't want to die. I don't want to sleep or else I'll die. I'll die. And he had a coffee brewer in his room. Like he did not want to go to sleep. And the one night he did decide to go to sleep, his parents heard screaming from his room, and he went to check on him, and he was dead. That's pretty fucking creepy. Like, how the hell did this happen? So, and that's why Wes Craven got the inspiration for this film because it's a creepy storyline if you really think about it.
You know what though, James? You can kill Freddy though.
Uh,
I mean,
we'll get to that point when we get there. But
we haven't got to Nancy yet. No.
we've been talking about Nancy for the past 20 minutes, bro.
Yeah. After Tina, it was Nancy.
I'll just fade to the back.
Nancy didn't kill Freddy. Just let everybody know that. But we'll get to that. We'll get to that as later. But so after Nancy meets with Rod and has like this creepy realization. She goes to take a bath, and she just accidentally, because someone relaxing in the tub, we just kind of like just doze off for a little bit. Even when you doze off, no, that Freddy can attack. And we get another legendary moment where she's like sleeping, and then from between her legs, we see like Freddy's glove come out the water and shit. Look like it's about to strike, but then like Nancy's mom checks on her, and then the glove goes away again. So I'm like, damn, like that was really cool. So Nancy dozes off again, and then we see Freddy drags Nancy down. Like it looks like a tub, but then like it looks like she's like in a pool or some shit. Freddy's trying to drown her. Then she gets away. And she gets away, but Nancy escapes. And then hearing that Rod, has been having dreams about the same killer, she suspects that he is real and he has the ability to kill people in their dreams. So the next scene we get, Johnny Depp, Glenn, comes in to check on her. And then Nancy has this idea where she has Glenn watch her sleep, and wait, hang on.
Professional.
Oh, okay, I got you, okay. So she has Glenn watch her sleep, and she sees Freddy. She sees Freddy going after Rod, because the plan was that she was gonna grab Freddy, and then Glenn was supposed to wake her up. And then she said, "We're gonna take this fucker down." That's what Nancy says. So that's the idea. So she falls asleep and she goes to the dream world, pretty much searching for Freddy. And she sees that Freddy intends on going after Rod. But then we get another weird moment of, we see the body bag of Tina once again. And then the body just turns like into snakes and shit. I'm like, ugh, that's gross. So Freddy attacks Nancy and she runs back into her room, but she's unable to wake herself up. And Johnny Depp, who was in the dream, she said he was waiting at a particular spot. He wasn't there. So, because it turns out that his ass fell asleep. So she goes into her room, tries to wake up Johnny Depp. She can't do it. And before that happens, she tries to run up the stairs, but the stairs turn like into quicksand, slowly, dragging her feet, which is basically typical nightmare shit. I mean, I remember having nightmares. I'm running from something, and it just seemed like I couldn't, like my feet was just being dragged. So I thought that was cool. And all of a sudden, we see Freddy holding Tina's face, talking like Tina, like, "Nancy, help me, save me from Freddy." Again, Robert Englund is just having, you can tell Englund's having a ball playing this character. So she's like talking to herself in the mirror, like, "This is a dream. He isn't real. He isn't real." And then Freddy just busts through the door, grabbing Nancy. And they get into a struggle. And then while this happening, her alarm goes off, and she wakes up. She wakes up and she's pissed off. I was like, pissed off at Johnny Depp. Like, I gave you one thing to do: stay awake, and just to wake me up. And what do? You little shit? You fell asleep. I liked Heather Langenkamp's reaction. Like, you shit! I gave you one thing to do. Like, you only had one job. So, so Arlo, we see what Nancy was trying to do, but it failed miserably. But I thought that was a really fun scene. And, of course, the Nancy and Rod scene, where I kind of thought Rod did actually a pretty good job acting. And he was high doing it. I thought that was impressive. And we just see Robert Englund as Freddy. Again, you could just tell Robert Englund's having a great time as this role. So this is pretty fucking entertaining. Arlo, give your thoughts, then Mark and MG.
Yeah. At first, like before you said, I didn't see him like sweating or anything. I just, like I was saying, I was thinking, how is she talking to him like this? So I wasn't like too crazy about that scene, arrested and all that stuff, and having the plan to try to get him and doing all they could with it. That was pretty cool. I was enjoying it, like their plan, going there and trying to find him, and that didn't actually happen. But I would have liked to see it happen. But and then I just skipped like a pretty important scene about like the bathtub incident. I don't know. It's something about bathtubs to me. Like you get take showers there and stuff, but then like especially then. Like I couldn't take a bath because of like this scene and the one in 2003 and stuff for some reason. It was weird. So you just have like, oh, you fall asleep or you relax or something like that, then you're gonna get got. But it was pretty creepy. But I liked how they did that. I like the other thing. I mean, I'm enjoying this movie so far.
Mark?
Oh, it's my turn now. Yeah, man, the bathroom scene, yeah, in the bathtub, yeah, that was rough. It's pretty weird. Um, I agree. I agree with Arlo. You couldn't really take a bath because of that scene. I mean, just close your eyes for a second, and that's Freddy. But so far into this movie, so not really like into it at this point. In all honesty, but yeah.
Okay. MG?
Bathroom scenes is probably one of the more memorable scenes out of this movie. At least by the I don't want to call them the mainstream fans of the movie per se, but when you talk to a lot of people about the series of Nightmare on Elm Street, a lot of them mention this scene right here. And it kind of just continued the trend of catching people in places that you would be scared to get caught being killed at, or having a chance of your life being taken at. Bathroom, obviously, being one of them. On top of the fact that it's in your dream, it doesn't make a great combination if you're scared of this type of stuff. So, so far so good with this movie. Like I said, man, I'm sold on Freddy Krueger already to this point, and every little thing that he does, it kind of just wins me over more.
Yes, I absolutely agree.
I just want to know who sits in the bathtub like that though.
What's that?
Who sits in the bathtub like that?
Who sits in the bed? Well, Nancy does.
And so I was thinking that Freddy was going to finger blast her. I don't know. That's what I was saying the whole time.
Oh, damn, that would have been intense.
Bro.
That would have been a great death.
My God, like fingering her with like knives, like for fingers,
Yeah.
like oh fuck. Oh man, that would have been pretty cool. But if that would happen, we wouldn't have a movie, would we?
No, it wasn't.
Or we have a very interesting movie.
Yes, like we saw. Yeah. Oh yeah. If that was the case, then the movie wouldn't have hit the theaters in '84 because how conservative they were back then. But so yeah. So after Nancy's first failed attempt to get Freddy, her and Englund go to the police station, and they want to speak to Rod. But then it's too late because Freddy was basically made Rod hang himself to make it look like a suicide. So I thought that was a pretty unique, like we see like the sheet like wrap around Rod's neck and hang him and shit. I thought that was pretty interesting. So after Rod's funeral, Nancy's mother insists on Nancy to go to a dream clinic, to get her psychiatric help. Well, psychological help. I'm sorry. So, they run a test on her, to basically prove that it's all just a dream. None of this is real whatsoever. They run an experiment on her. And I kind of actually like this part here because we see her fall asleep, but we don't see the dream, but we just see her like reacting. So I really like that. So she falls asleep, but she wakes up and we see a deep gash on her arm. So Freddy almost got her. But while she has the gash, she pulled out Freddy's hat. So now we learn that she can take things out the dream. And she grabbed Freddy's hat. So I thought that was a really cool concept. And so while all this is happening, instead of being there to support Nancy and her crisis, the mother starts to drink heavily. And we get to a real. I thought that the mother and Heather Langenkamp did a good job on this scene. We see that Nancy, her hair is starting to become gray. She's starting to drink a lot of coffee because she is not sleeping. And I wish I could get the actual line of dialogue here, but I can't get it for some reason. My notes are kind of fucking up. But I thought it was a really good scene by Heather Langenkamp and what was the mother's name? Ronee Blakley. So, what was her last line? Oh yeah, like here, she's trying to beg Nancy to take the pills that the doctor gave her, and you'll be able to fall asleep. And then Nancy just grabs her mom's like vodka and goes like this. She says like fuck sleep and slams it and runs off. Like why don't you put that bottle down? Instead you always want to be good and loaded and shit. I thought Heather Langenkamp did a really good job. And then we make a long story short that Nancy's mother pretty much fortifies their house with security bars. So now Nancy's now become a prisoner in her home now. And the mother, you can
Guess you could
tell
say
the
she got bars.
Wait, what?
I guess you can say she got bars.
She got bars, yeah. So now Nancy becomes a prisoner in her own home, and you can kind of tell that ever since Nancy pulled the hat out, the mother started acting different. She acts like she recognizes, and in their argument, Nancy points that out. Like, his name is Fred Krueger, Mom. Fred Krueger. It says here in the hat. And you gotta get the feeling that the mother knows this Krueger character. So when Nancy begs to tell her what happened, we kind of get Freddy's backstory, where she and several parents in the neighborhood basically took the law into their own hands, and they burned Freddy to death because before Freddy was a child killer, and he was released on a technicality. So they all banded together, and they burned him. They burned him to death. And it's funny because Wes Craven kind of wanted Freddy to be a child molester and killer. But again, it's 1984. They're conservative. It's like, no, just keep it at child killer. But you could kind of give hints, especially later on in the Nightmare on Elm Street, when you kind of get little hints that he was kind of a child molester. That was one thing about Wes Craven. He always says, in some movies, he always says things without really saying them in his movies. But he kind of gives us clues.
Oh, James, I hate to kind of jump in, like, I don't know if you're gonna do like any more of like reviews on like Nightmare on Elm Street, but that's kind of how like the character kind of went later on in the series.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Kind of turned into that.
I absolutely agree. Yeah. So she said, Fred Krueger no longer exists because Mommy killed him. All that stuff. So now we know that Freddy is now getting revenge on the children of the parents that killed him all those years before. And the mom even kept the glove that he used to kill the children and everything, kept them in the furnace. So this is a personal matter, that the kids are paying for the sins of the quote, sins of a father, sins of a mother. Well, they're paying for the sins for the parents. So I liked that aspect. So I'm like, okay, so it's all connected now. So Arlo, we got Rod's death scene, we got the dream clinic, and we got the confrontation with her and her mother, which I thought was acted greatly by both of them. And we get Freddy's backstory of who he really is and what his reasoning with killing these kids are. So I'm sold. I'm really sold. Interesting concept, interesting characters, likable characters. None of them annoyed me. Heather Langenkamp's doing a great job. The mother's doing a great job, and Robert Englund's the man. So Arlo, your thoughts, and then after Arlo,
Whoever.
Then after Arlo, we'll go with MG, then Mark to give their thoughts.
Alright, yeah, I think when I was watching the movie back, that Rod scene though, I'm like, damn, that was actually pretty cool. Because like you said, and how they wanted to portray it, like he committed suicide, so like, oh, this bitch crazy, she crazy. Johnny Depp was good. No wonder he's a successful actor, and the girl's not. And she wasn't even bad in this. It just, you can see the talent that he has in this from the others. The graying of the hair and stuff. I don't know if that's true or not. If you don't sleep and your hair turns gray, but she's supposed to play like a
Yeah,
Seven,
yeah. I've also
17-year-old?
heard if you don't get enough sleep, especially if you don't sleep for days, like you get bags under your eyes, and it
You get
does.
gray hair though?
I think the same kind of makes you look older in some ways if you go long. Well, so the gray hair, I'm not sure, but I do hear there are severe effects to not sleeping for days.
Yeah, I heard that, but I don't know. Still the gray hair though, really? I don't know about that. The hospital thing, I'm like, this bitch gonna go crazy, in a matter of moments. I'm like, and she did. And it have been crazy. No, I would have liked it if the mom would have like gave a little handy to the doctor underneath the desk or something. I don't know. Maybe I'm asking too much, but I don't think so.
What?
What?
Okay,
I
go
mean,
ahead.
they seemed like really close, and then it was like
What?
it seemed like they were flirting or some shit. So
In a serious situation like this, you want to see
hmm,
you want to see a hand job.
I don't want to see it. I want to see the motion. Okay.
So you want to see the motion of a hand job being given.
Yeah, like her arm like moving and shit.
Oh, okay.
And then she freaks out, and then he busts his load at the same time. It's
He changed the subject quick.
yeah, but moving along, the scene where like she was locked in her own house, and they're like yelling. The mom bitch slaps the daughter. I'm like, that's what I'm talking about. That was pretty good. I enjoyed that.
Yeah, you do. You always do.
Yeah. And the whole backstory, I'm like, okay, it makes more sense. Uh, yeah, like you said, and further in the rest of the movies, we will basically know this that he's a child molester and stuff. But I would have liked for them to like accentuate a little bit, like yeah, he used to take him out back and do him raw and stuff, some stuff like that. You can push the line a little
Oh,
bit.
come on, bro.
Like him and Bill Cosby and shit. What?
Oh.
What? I don't know. Yeah, but it was, I don't know. It hit a plateau with like the Tina, and then it just is sailing at this point. It's not doing a great job. It's not doing a bad job. It's just coasting.
Character development.
I mean, that one character's in development because they're giving her all the time, but I would have liked
Yeah.
for them to give Johnny Depp more time because best actor in this.
Yeah. I agree. It would have been nice to see more of their relationship. MG. MG. Probably having problems again. Mark.
Okay, where are we at again? You said talking about Rod's death.
Well, we'll talk. Okay, well, we go the Rod death scene.
Mm-hmm.
The mother taking Nancy to the dream clinic where Arlo wants to see a hand job being performed, and and
Don't tell me that would have intrigued you.
Oh, that would have been golden, bro.
Yeah. Like, you're like, damn, this is a good ass movie.
yeah, okay, and wow, you just threw me off, Arlo. Okay, so the mom, she wants to see the mom give the doctor a hand job. Then we go to the scene where Nancy and the mom are having a confrontation, where Nancy's starting to go crazy a little bit because she hadn't slept, and we learn Freddy's backstory about he was a child killer. Released on technicality, so the parents, took the law into their own hands and killed them themselves. And Nancy's now a prisoner in her own home now because the mother put bars around the house. So like you got some stuff.
She's on fire. What?
You got a lot of stuff to talk about. So go ahead, give your thoughts, Mark.
Well, Rod, death scene, pretty interesting. I'll say at least on that. That's pretty interesting. Shout out to Johnny Depp, by the way. Love sending Pirates of the Caribbean 10 out of 10. What?
Shout out to Billy. What?
Shout out to Billy.
Shout out to Billy.
Yeah. The whole like thing about her having gray hair and depriving herself of sleep, that's almost looked at as like a real disease. By the way, it's like depriving yourself of sleep. I don't know if it can cause gray hair though. I don't think it can really cause gray hair. I think more so you could have like hallucinations and stuff like that. I know like the common thing would be like bags under your eyes and stuff like that. I know you can get obese from it and stuff like that, but I don't know about gray hair. Maybe that's just something they just threw in there just to add for effects. Mm-hmm. And this is the part where they gave her the medicine, right?
No, she's trying to give her the medicine.
Trying to give her the medicine because, like, the medicine, it's more so, like, to keep her from having those kind of dreams or whatever. But she just, like, hey, I'm not taking this crap. What else? Mine's going blank on me. What else?
Freddy's backstory.
Oh, Freddy's backstory. Like I said, man, you should have went ahead and just had him be Jared from Subway. I think.
Oh.
This man.
What?
I can't.
I mean, bro, it's a movie. Why can't we be edgy with it? It's not real. I don't know. Have him, Bill Cosby for 3. I don't know, man. Something. Because his whole character was supposed to be a child molester, right? Why not just go through with it? I don't know, bro. I don't know, man. What's the problem here?
Because it was the 80s, bro. They wouldn't let that shit slide in the 80s.
But now, if you look back on it, that would have been like a masterpiece now, 2015. Yeah. That would have been a masterpiece.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yes, agreed.
Little kids is the only thing he likes to do. What?
I'm telling you, man. You see Freddy in a van over there. Like, come on, kids. I don't know. Getting away free claws. I don't know, bro. It's something. Getting away free hats. Something.
Yeah. Yeah, that's crazy. Like, 2 ugly sweaters.
LL Cool J from In Too Deep?
I mean, you don't have to get the pool stick.
He's got the claws.
He does have the claws. I don't want to talk about that pool stick scene. It's kind of rough. We are talking about Nightmare, Elm Street here. I don't want to talk about that.
I'm drunk with revenge, motherfucker.
I'm just saying, at that point, that man didn't have nothing to lose, I mean, a pool stick, bro. On a pool table. Who would have thought?
I don't know why, but it terrified me, but it made me laugh. They're like, come on, man, don't do that. I thought you was my man. And then LO goes, yeah, I am your man. What the fuck? Oh, man. Yeah. In Too Deep. If you guys haven't watched In Too Deep, I was kind of a little afraid of pool tables after watching.
He really got in too deep, like for real.
Yeah, he did. But like seriously, like in the little, the Tales from Elm Street, the little series they had going on, mm-hmm. Freddy was portrayed as a child molester.
Yes.
Well,
even in Freddy vs. Jason, they kind of throw hints where he's like licking the picture of a little girl. Like even that gives you clues.
Yeah,
they just don't say he's a molester, but he gives you hints.
I'm just saying, man. What better character would have been to see a guy with a brown fedora, a little red sweater on, and a clawed, little brown leather glove on his hand.
Please,
come on,
don't.
Man.
Please
come on, man. That would have been great. I'm just saying, that would have been great. That would have been great, man. 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. With the fedora, come on. He's spinning from the back while he's wearing the fedoras, you know. I know that.
MG, do you need to be filled in on what's going on, or do you got it? MG.
What?
You need to be filled in on what's going on at this point, or are you following it right now?
I'm okay. I'm a little occupied. I'm sorry. Just continue without me. I'll jump in when need be.
Okay, all right. All right. Well, thank you for telling us, MG. Appreciate it. All right.
He needs back alert.
I agree.
No. I hold on. I don't know what to do right now.
Just don't fall asleep.
No, I'm not falling asleep. I'm wide awake actually.
That's a good sign.
Long.
That man.
Long story.
10 out of 10 for MG.
I guess. Okay. Well.
Oh, by the way, ProWrestlingTees.com. That is TEES /Virtuoso Sports. You can pick up all your Blitz Team merchandise there. Sorry to interrupt the review, James, but I'm gonna let you finish. But MG has the best shirt designs of all time. Go ahead.
Thank you. That's the thing. It was nice to know that.
Somebody find a lick, please.
Oh, goodness gracious.
Sorry.
God.
Sorry.
All right. So now at this point, Nancy has gone a whole week without sleeping, which is actually pretty impressive. She's been awake for 7 days now. She has like a coffee pot, like coffee, in her room constantly. She's constantly drinking coffee. Question: could y'all go 7 days without sleeping? Just drinking nothing but coffee?
Okay, I haven't drunk coffee, but I know I did 2 days, and I just passed out after that. It's pretty rough, by the way. Seriously, like in all seriousness, pretty rough.
Yeah,
Starbucks did.
I haven't even done that much. I've done like what? Shit. 40 hours, and that's about it. I mean, if I was forced to, probably 3 or 4 days. That's probably it.
Yeah, but a whole week? That's a challenge. And isn't she in school? Or didn't the mother say that she was taking her out of school at the moment? I don't remember, but I was like, okay, so how? Oh, okay, she must not be going. So Nancy's been awake for 7 hours now. 7 days now. Decide, okay,
7 hours. Damn, that's a hell of a challenge right there.
So she wants to try and pull Freddy out again, like she did with the hat, and Glenn, and she wants Glenn to be there to knock him out, and like she said, this is the scene where she goes, we'll take out that fucker, So again, I would have liked if we've seen more of Johnny and Nancy's relationship in this film. I would like to see how they were like before she started going crazy. So they devised this plan, but Glenn's parents, which understandably so, particularly the father, does not want Glenn to be anywhere near Nancy because he believes that Nancy has gone fucking crazy. Which I can understand. I mean, if we were fathers and we see this chick just constantly talking about some dude killing her in her sleep, not going to sleep whatsoever, I wouldn't want my kid near this chick I wanted to get into this chick as well. So I wasn't mad at it.
Depends what she looks like.
What?
Depends what she looks like.
Yeah, if that's how she's gonna look like.
No, I'm just saying that it depends what she looks like.
Well, come on now. That's all. Oh, okay. Well, now that I think about it, okay, yeah, it does kind of depend. But Heather Langenkamp was not a bad-looking woman herself. Now, let's not get that twisted. So after the parents, the father doesn't want Nancy with Glenn anymore. And of course, Nancy tells Glenn, and whatever you do, don't fall asleep. So, and then the father goes like, I don't care what you say. He talks to his wife, I don't care what you say. I don't want that kid hanging around our son anymore. So, Nancy goes to call Glenn, but fucking Glenn has his headphones on, and he's kind of like dozing. He's kind of like dozing in and out. And I'm like, Glenn, did you not hear what Nancy just said? You have headphones on. How are you falling asleep? She must have the shit on low. So unfortunately, the parents pick up the phone, and and the father basically says he's not here, and then he just takes the phone off the hook. So I'm like, oh fuck no. So Nancy, Nancy, she's like, frustrated, and the phone rings. Then she picks up the phone, and she kind of hears, like, scraping noises on the phone. And Nancy just freaks out, rips the phone cord out of the wall. But the fucking phone rings again. So she picks up the phone, and then here's another hint. Here's another hint that Freddy was a child molester. She picks up the phone, and then Freddy goes, "I'm your boyfriend now, Nancy." And then we see like a tongue trying to lick Nancy. So I'm like, oh, fuck. So even when Nancy's not sleeping, again, like Mark pointed out, the hallucination thing, Freddy's even fucking with her, even when she's sleep deprived. And then Nancy goes, "My boyfriend," and then the realization sets in that he's about to go kill Glenn. So she tries to run out, but of course the mother, drunk out of her mind, won't let her leave. And then we get quite possibly one of Freddy's most iconic kill scenes, where Johnny Depp is sleeping, with the national anthem playing. Of course, that was back in them days where, after a program would end, they would play the national anthem. And this concludes tonight's program, and then we turn off. Back when TV had dignity, when it wasn't up all night like a Las Vegas hooker. And did you guys notice that? Thank you for listening to like FRKR, something like that. And apparently Wes Craven, Wes Craven would say that was supposed to stand for, Krueger. So I heard that again, I'm like, yeah. When I heard that, I'm like, yeah, Johnny Depp's fucked now. So Johnny Depp is just laid out on the bed, and all of a sudden we see Freddy's hand come from the side of the bed, and he's like he's going fucking Undertaker mode, and just slowly dragging. How Undertaker used to drag people under the ring? He's dragging Johnny Depp, gets to the depths of hell, I guess. And then we hear Johnny Depp going, "No! No!" And then Nancy's freaking out like, "Glenn!" And then fucking gallons of blood is just pouring out from bed. Like gallons and gallons. Like gallons and gallons and gallons of blood is being poured out of the bed, which is, I'm like, damn, like how much blood did Johnny Depp have? Like this is gallons of it coming out of the bed. And the mother, Johnny Depp's mother, comes into the room, and then she sees this, and of course she starts freaking out. And she goes to call, and the next thing we see the police arriving to the scene. So yeah, Johnny Depp's very first film, and he dies in a very memorable fashion.
I mean, I do want to say this: what he was wearing was kind of suspect. That's just not cool.
A lot of the fashion that dude was wearing back in the day was in the '80s, particularly, was suspect, bro. So I'm not.
I mean,
I'm with you on that one.
But you do gotta like how like after the like when the lady ran in and saw him, like he just pops up back from out like under like the bed or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah. Cool. That was a really cool scene. Oh man, you kind of gotta feel bad for Nancy because she just lost her best friend, and now she just lost her boyfriend. And she tried to help, but the parents intervened, and she can't leave because she's now a prisoner in her own home now because her mother is drunk on her ass. And Freddy going, "I'm your boyfriend now, Nancy." Like they're giving Freddy great lines of dialogue, and like I've said, Robert Englund he's having fun with this role. So great shit we're getting right now. So Arlo, your thoughts, and then Mark, and if MG, if you want to chime in, go ahead and chime in. And I see Adam's here. Are you there, Adam? Oh, okay. I'm pretty sure he'll talk eventually. So yeah, so Arlo, give your thoughts.
I thought it was pretty good. Everything. What? The whole it was crazy. No, Johnny Depp thing was kind of weird though. It was like a volcano just erupting blood. I liked his banter with his mom. I liked his banter with his mom. That was pretty cool. He's talking about, I think he was talking about like Miss Nude contest or some shit. That was good. Something, and then she tried to stop the people and wanted to help, but yeah, she was basically locked inside of her own home.
And the Freddy telephone.
Excuse me?
You sounded kind of stumped. I try to, the Freddy telephone, Freddy, fucking with Nancy even when she's like awake.
Oh, yeah. I like that. Like he like licked her face. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Yeah, and then before that, it was like they're trying to stay awake and then do like a plan at like 12 o'clock exactly. And, it didn't work out. But so far, it's good. It's not great. It's good.
Yeah, Glenn couldn't stay awake to save his fucking life. 2 times she asked Glenn to be there. He falls asleep. Wow. Mark?
Okay. Like I said, the Johnny Depp thing. Once again, suspect clothes. I don't ever want to see the guy wearing a jersey that little. I will say this, man. Very impressive. Whole swallowing skills by Freddy. The man taking the man TV. He's taking everything. Bro, I mean, took the bed sheets. He took everything, bro. That man didn't take the whole room. Wow, Freddy. Wow.
Whole swallowing?
Hey man, I did not know Freddy could swallow that deep. What?
God, you swallow an entire person? God damn.
I mean, I don't know where he went, but like when he swallowed him, and that's a pretty big mouth to be swallowing a whole
Oh
person.
God.
Well, so I guess Freddy was gay too. I don't know. Fred Quisha. I don't know. But Nas, what? What? Anyways, when he took him down, man, I mean, like James said, like all you saw was just blood, just shooting up to the top. I'm like, bro, I thought it was a volcano, honestly. And I mean, just blood just going everywhere, bro. Like that, I don't think that's even humanly possible to have that much blood in you. I don't even think that's even humanly possible. Seriously, like in all seriousness. What else? What else happened after that?
That's
So my mind keeps going blank.
Yeah, that
was
that's
it.
Yeah.
That was it. Yeah, that was a great scene. Johnny Depp. I never want to see you wear that again. But great scene. Very memorable scene, by the way. I'll put it up there with the bathtub scene actually, just because of all the blood and gore.
Oh, indeed. MG, your thoughts?
I don't even know where we at right now. Like,
You know what, MG? I got you. I got you. You know what? I got you, MG. Great scene. By the way, you guys can go support him at prowrestlingtees.com /virtuoso sports. Once again, that's TEES. Also, check out the Ambitions of Greatness podcast, AOG podcast. Very good stuff, by the way. Talks about life stuff on there. Really good stuff, man. And, yeah. I got you. Don't worry.
good man.
Where I break kayfabe. What?
Good man.
Good stuff. Oh yeah, thanks, man.
All right. Well, to answer your question, MG. Okay. Basically, Johnny Depp's death scene. With the blood coming out of the bed, Freddy Krueger going complete Undertaker mode and dragging him from under the bed and shit, and blood coming out. Thoughts on that scene?
Once again, James, prowrestlingtees.com /
I got it, Mark. I got it. Okay.
How do you spell T? I don't know how to spell T.
TEES.
Oh, really?
Yeah, don't put TS. Don't put TS. TEES.
TES?
TEES.
TES? Okay, all right, gotcha.
We're also trying to find him some legs. I think he's still in NASA.
Hashtag find my legs.
But he's here. He has some really strong internet connection, by the way, to be in NASA, up space, and here. It's pretty cool.
Bruh, just floating above the world, bro.
Hey, man. Phew. Man. Crazy.
Wow, man. So after we saw that bloodbath.
Oh, what? You're gonna skip the white guy on the panel? I see how it is.
You see that? Racist. Racism is alive, people, and the South will rise again.
Oh, stop it! All right,
my thoughts on this scene. Honestly, I seen this as a kid. It took me up ever since, dude. I cannot go back and watch this scene. I kid you not. I mean, I seen this probably when I was 6 or 7. Not a good idea,
Yeah.
I've even tried to go back and just watch the whole scene. Is like I can't. This scene here really fucked me up, dude. It's crazy. Hey, you can call me a pussy, a bitch, whatever. I don't give a fuck. I mean, real, this shit, that scene with Johnny Depp, it's fucked up, and yeah, it fucked me up pretty bad. Not bad, but yeah, man, I still can't watch it, like I said. I think this was Freddy's best kill.
Wow.
Yeah, I agree. It's most likely. It's
beds
definitely.
anymore.
What was that?
What was it, Arlo?
I said, can you not sleep on beds anymore?
Hey, Arlo, go bend over and let Jamie fuck you in the ass.
Okay.
Well, no.
Arnold did say go ahead. So
Hey. Fuck you. Fuck you all. Not in the ass. Just fuck you in general. The hate you all.
No, please, no. So.
If you were so lucky.
So, so after the bloodbath, John Saxon is investigating. He receives a call from Nancy, and she basically tells him, break into the house in 20 minutes. Okay, she wants to be there in 20 minutes. She can't exactly explain what's going on, but she made him promise that he will be there. So we get like a little, Nancy preparing for battle. She sets up booby traps. She puts gunpowder and a light bulb. She sets up a sledgehammer. She took a bit of time. All this shit takes time to do. So she goes completely Kevin McAllister Home Alone with this shit on it. And then she, basically tucks her mother in. And then she falls asleep. Wait, what?
She kissed her mother on the lips.
She kissed
her mother on the lips.
She did kiss her mother on the lips?
Yeah, multiple times in this movie. What?
Wait, let me go back and see that.
James is a pervert. What?
Yeah, James. Watch it in slow mo, by the way.
This is a professional. This is a professional
You didn't kiss on the damn lips.
Yes, it did.
On the alternate version.
Watch it in slow motion.
You watched this in slow motion, bro?
Who didn't?
Okay. Alright. So okay, so now we know Arlo is in to mother and daughter kissing each other. So
Yes.
Okay. Alright. Okay.
In
Whatever
fictional
you say.
movies.
Yeah, well, alright. Okay. Whatever you say. So Nancy goes to sleep and she's basically looking for Freddy. Like Freddy! I'm here, Freddy! And so after falling asleep, Freddy does not reveal himself until the last 10 seconds of her dream. Because she set the timer. She set the timer, a time limit so you get Freddy. So right when she jumps on Freddy, and she's like grabbing him, she wakes up and notices that Freddy isn't there. But then a scene that kind of made me jump a little bit, where she's kind of like, damn it! And all that stuff. All of a sudden, Freddy just pops up from beside her and tries to get her. And so that means that she successfully pulled Freddy into the real world. So now, in the real world, Freddy doesn't have the advantage that he normally does. You know how Freddy, he can teleport from place to place. He can cut himself. He can play with the rules. In the real world, Freddy is just a normal serial killer at this point. So now, Nancy has the advantage now. So he chases her around the house, and Freddy's just falling. She's just falling for the traps. Like he opens the door, the sledgehammer hits him in the stomach, and then he clumsily falls down the stairs. Watching Freddy get his ass beat is pretty, satisfying. Because now Freddy is no longer the hunter; he's the hunted at this point. So he falls down the stairs, and then he goes. This part kind of made me laugh, where she's like, "Come on, Freddy, you can't catch me." And then Freddy goes, "I'm gonna split you in two." So he runs, he walks towards Nancy, trips on the wire, and then the fucking explosion hits Freddy. And Freddy goes, "Ah!" Like, hearing him scream is funny. And Nancy's like trying to get the cops' attention, like, "Hey, get my dad! Get my dad! He's here!" And then the cop is like, "Oh, just calm down. Everything will be all right." And Nancy says, "Oh God, get my dad, asshole!" And then, so Freddy, continues to chase her. They go downstairs, and Freddy says, "Well, I'm gonna kill you slow." So he's like searching for Nancy. Nancy has like a jar of gasoline, throws it at Freddy and sets him on fire.
It's alcohol.
It was alcohol? Okay, alright,
Yeah.
Alright, wow. Okay.
A jar of gasoline. Okay, come on, James.
Well, hey, you never know. You never fucking know.
You're better than this. I thought you did your research.
Well, fuck you, okay, Mister. I want to see a hand job. So while he's lit on fire, John Saxon arrive, and they discover that because Freddy's in the basement, they go into the basement, and Freddy's not there. And so Freddy has gone upstairs, and he is and he is smothering Nancy's mother. Like, that's a pretty terrifying thought right there. Like a burning Freddy Krueger on top of Nancy's mother. Like Nancy knocks him out by hitting him with the back of a chair. Then Freddy falls forward on Nancy's mother, still burning. And John Saxon comes to the room, puts out the fire with a blanket. Freddy disappears, and Nancy's mother just vanishes into the bed. And I'm like, whoa, where the fuck did Nancy's mom go? Like that kind of messed me up a little. Like, where did she go? So, Nancy, basically, Nancy turns her back on Freddy. Freddy rises out of Nancy's mother's mattress, and she weakens him. She says, and I thought Heather Langenkamp did another great job here. She says, "You're nothing, and I refuse to believe in you anymore. I'm no longer scared of you, and I take back everything, every ounce of energy that I gave you." And Freddy vanishes before he can finish her off. So, and that was always been Freddy's thing. Like, he always thrived on people fearing him. And now that people aren't scared of him, when people aren't scared of him, it weakens him, doesn't give him his power. So I really like that aspect, and I thought Heather Langenkamp did a really good job, especially with that scene in particular. So now we've reached the conclusion. So fellas, we got Nancy setting up the traps. We got her getting Freddy out the dream world. Nancy's fucking Freddy up with the traps, and she basically calls Freddy nothing. I'm no longer scared of you, and that seems to have ultimately killed Freddy off. So guys, your thoughts? Arlo.
Yo.
Your thought?
yeah, basically, Nancy turned into Fetty Wap a little bit. Um, she
Why?
was, she
Why?
was,
Why is she turning to
she
Freddy
was,
Wap?
no, she turned into Fetty Wap's girl. She is a trap queen. Um,
Oh, oh,
but
oh.
yeah,
Where's the drum? Well, where's the drum? I get the drum thing. Good job, Arlo.
and I try. I get participation awards. You know what I'm saying. Um, but the entire scene though, I enjoyed it. She didn't have to do all that stuff to lure him in. She should have just got like a child's ass and just put him in front, and then he would have done anything. He would have like ran, he would have crawled, um, just to touch that. So that would have worked instead. And basically, it made him look like a dumbass. It was funny though. Like he getting hit in the stomach. Um, the door is like locked. He trips on a wire. That's like really Home Alone shit right there. It seemed like somebody would do that in like a parody movie, like those movies where like they make fun of a bunch of movies,
Mm-hmm.
um, that are usually terrible, but they just I forgot the last one, it was like movie 43 or something like that. Um, it was something like that. But then all that stuff that happened, I'm like, oh shit. And then coming down the stairs, that's been like crazy. Like somebody's coming down the stairs behind you. That was like always like for me like a huge thing. It like always freaks me out. I mean, not anymore, but like before. But yeah, the scene though overall, yeah, did what it had to do. Um, I don't know why they like jumped on him. He was getting in with Nancy's mom. Um, yeah, but I didn't like the way that he just vanished. So I'm like, I'm not scared of you anymore. It was like to me, like, really? That's it? We went through all of this and that's it. So yeah, I was not I did not enjoy that part, but other than that, it was solid.
All right. Adam, are you there?
Gonna make him go first because he's white. What?
Yes, affirmative action. Um, yeah, Adam's not there. Okay. MG, what about you?
Still a no-go right now. Sorry.
All right. Okay. What the fuck? Um. So um. So after we see. So after. Oh, and
What about Mark? Mark Times.
Mark is away at the moment.
Wait.
Okay. Oh, and for that Fetty Wap joke, Arlo. All right, there you go. All right,
I
so
like how you look just for that. I like that.
oh, no problem, no
It
problem.
means it made an impression on you.
Yes, I did. You need to have a reaction to your joke, and I just gave you a reaction, so I laughed. Um, so after Nancy has basically proclaimed that she's no longer scared of Freddy anymore, we think Freddy's dead. So, back to my notes here. So, Nancy opens the door, mother's bedroom door, and she is emerging out of her front door in broad daylight. And this is basically Nancy earlier in the film. You know, her hair's back to normal. She's looking like a normal girl again. You know, she has a glow about her. It's really cool. And Nancy finds her mother. You know, she's sober. You know, she wants to give up drinking. And Glenn, Tina, and Rod pull up in Glenn's car and they, and Nancy goes in. So I'm like, oh, okay, so we're gonna go with the happy ending, I guess. But then something happens. The car develops a life, come life on its own, and basically traps them inside. Like the door starts locking on themselves, and the hood of the car, covers them in Freddy colors, by the way, red and green. I saw that, by the way. And once they realize that they're trapped, Nancy screams for her mother, but the car just drives off. And as the car drives off, Nancy's mother is grabbed by Freddy through the window of the door, and something that looked completely fake as fuck, like he drags her, like he grabs, like he pulls her inside. It looked like a Barbie doll being snatched in through a hole. And that is the end of Nightmare on Elm Street. Now, I did not like this ending. I don't like question mark endings. It was a question mark ending. Okay, so is Nancy dead? Was that whole shit? So was all this still a nightmare? Was all this a dream? Or was this in the reality world? So I did not like that ending, and the mother being pulled in. I thought that looked fake. And Wes Craven, apparently originally, he wanted to go with the happy ending. Like that, he originally wanted to go with the happy ending, but the producers, they told him, we want to give like a shock ending, like a Carrie-like ending, and they kind of forced Wes Craven to do that. Wes Craven did not want to do this originally, and I don't blame him. It looks a little cheap to me. And then of course, we get the ending credits, and and we get the song. It's a nightmare. It's just a dream. It's a nightmare. I've always kind of enjoyed that song. So, overall thoughts. I think the cast did a really great job. I thought, even though John Saxon didn't have much to do, I thought he was solid. I thought Heather Langenkamp did a great job as Nancy. She was strong. You could easily root for her. She had a natural presence to her. I thought she did a really great job as Nancy. I thought the girl who played Tina did a good job. I thought Rod did a great job, even though he was high most of the time. I thought he did a great job for what he had to do. Johnny Depp was good. It was nice to see young, early Johnny Depp. And of course, the MVP for this movie, Robert Englund, was fantastic as Freddy Krueger. Robert Englund's the man. Yeah, like I said, we hear of certain roles that people were just born to play. Robert Englund was born to be Freddy Krueger. This is his role. He will always and forever be Freddy Krueger. Always. The dream concept, really cool. Really like the concept of the dream concept. And an entertaining conclusion with Nancy and Freddy. I just did not like the ending. I thought the ending really dragged it down. So, out of 10, I was actually going to give this movie a 9. But because of that ending, I would have to give it a, I said 7 earlier, that might be a little too harsh. I may give it I'll give it an 8. I'll give it an 8 out of 10. And then, of course, the classic score, that that classic score. I just thought it's a classic. This movie is a classic. It changed the game for horror, and we got another series out of this. And this movie, began one of the big three of horrors. There's Michael, there's Jason, and there's Freddy. So, classic film, all-time great film. Wes Craven did a great job directing, and just an all-time great classic. So, Arlo, give your final thoughts and your thoughts on the final scene.
Final scene. Yeah. I knew something was gonna happen. This is a horror movie. Nothing. Nothing is out of the realm of possibility with these movies. And having known there's a fucking series, I know shit was gonna happen. Yeah, didn't like it. Didn't like the way that he disappeared. The movie was good. I enjoyed it. Most notably, the kill scenes are really good. Johnny Depp, obviously. Don't give a fuck about the sports still, James. Yeah, but pretty good movie. 6.25 out of 10. Good.
Okay, Adam, Mark, AMG, guys want to give your final thoughts?
Terminator Genesis was better.
You're fucking insane.
What? What'd you say?
I don't know what he said.
I know, I really didn't hit it. I really didn't hear
No,
it.
you don't want to hear it. All right, Mark, AMG, want to give you guys your final thoughts and rating of the movie?
I'm gonna go 8.5 out of 10. This is a classic, and it's a timeless horror flick. And honestly, you go back and you list off the names of all these classic horror characters, but Freddy really changed the game because they came at it from a complete different angle in terms of how he was getting to people. And that's a credit to Wes Craven, obviously, and the actors involved. And an icon was born. In the horror genre. I mean, how many people dress up as Freddy Krueger for Halloween?
Especially women, what?
I mean, from the hat to the sweater to the actual claw, like all of it is iconic. So, I gotta go 8.5 out of 10 on this one.
All right, good. Yeah, good stuff. Mark, are you available?
This was a great movie.
What was that, Adam?
I said this was a great movie. I was trolling. You know that, James.
Oh, I knew. You just saying Terminator Genesis when people just give compliments to Terminator Genesis, I kind of push the button. So.
What do you think I said it for? But Freddy Krueger, the best killer of all time. Over Jason, over Myers, of all time, she's the best killer.
That's actually very that's a pretty bold statement. Considering all the rules, how complex Freddy is. Yeah, I can see why you feel that way, Adam. Mark, are you available for comment? I'll take that as a no. So yeah, classic movie, all-time great. Like Amy said, totally changed the game for horror. I thought everybody did a great job for what they had to do. As far as doing the series, well, being that Wes Craven passed away, I don't know what me and Arlo and if the rest of the guys will be available for next week. I don't know what we might do next. I kind of want to do like the Scream series because I want to do movies that Wes Craven himself directed. I think that's only fair. To honor his memory. So we don't know. We'll see. Then we'll definitely later down the road do the Nightmare on Elm Street series. Because I knew eventually we was gonna get the big three. We was gonna do all the big three. Michael, Jason, Freddy. I just knew that was gonna come eventually.
You already started this one. Might as well finish it.
Yeah, we might, but I'll sleep on it. I'll sleep on it and think about it. But yeah. So we'll keep.
Power here.
What's that?
We'll sleep on it.
We will sleep on it. Yes, you're right. You're right, Arlo. But yeah. So Arlo, MG, Adam, and Mark, if you're available, plug in your stuff and where people can find you.
Find me Twitter, links everywhere. Yeah. If you have some hot bitches, or if you are a hot bitch, get in contact.
And if you're a hot bitch,
I'm stealing my line.
You don't call them hot bitches. You call them something else. You call them ladies or some shit. I don't know what that is.
And
the ladies out there. I am on Kick now, so we can get down on there. We can get down, exchange numbers. We can do any of the above. We can Skype, Google
I can
Hangouts.
FaceTime the ladies. He can't.
Yeah, I'm not an iPhone guy, but I'm black.
What? So you're telling me you don't have
what?
Yeah, you don't have a smartphone. You have an Android, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
No, chill out with that.
And ladies, if you pre-order Madden for me, I will love you forever.
Yeah, okay, alright, no, I'm about to end this shit right now. Fine. Okay, Matthew, plug in your shit, please.
Yeah. The ALG podcast, just Google search it. You'll find it on iTunes, Stitcher, TuneIn Radio, or SoundCloud. And then, Pro Wrestling Tees. That's TEES.com /Virtuoso Sports. Buy a T-shirt. Help fund the campaign to find my legs. I would greatly appreciate it.
Oh gosh. All right. Adam.
At K7 on Twitter.
Okay, and you can find Mark.
No. Let me do it.
Okay.
You can find Mark at his channel, Mark Tames, or you can find him on Twitter at BreakKayfabe, where he breaks kayfabe for you guys. Yeah, and for both for Mark and MG, please tweet them wrestling questions at like 4 in the morning. I think they would appreciate that.
Oh yeah, I bet they would. And you can find me at JTims101193 on Twitter, and of course my YouTube channels. My original one, just simply my name at James Timms, THAMES, and of course subscribe here to my new channel. Give me a second.
Yeah, subscribe to his old channel, James Tames.
Yes, and of course, my new channel here, King JT, where we'll be on this channel until my fucking copyright claim gets
King
lifted. Yeah, sure, whatever. And of course, Monday, Blitz Team Live commentaries, which I may actually start on time because I may be off. So
No way.
yes. I'll be back to the way how shit was before I decided to get money. So so be on the lookout for that. And like I said, we'll keep you posted on whether we'll continue this series or not. Like I said, kind of want to do shit where Wes Craven himself did, but I'm sorry, we will see.
Hmm.
And because Arlo wants to act, never mind. And so yeah, that'll do it. Hope you guys enjoyed this Nightmare on Elm Street review. Cool to have MG, Mark, and Adam be involved in this. And this was really fun. And we will see you guys. We'll see you guys next Friday. And again, last year, no, Arlo. First you fart, now you burp. Nigga, mute your mic, please. So, alright, so lasting words. Rest in peace, Wes Craven. Thank you for these great horror films that you gave us, and horror will not be the same now since you passed away. So rest in peace to him, and condolences to his family and friends. And Nightmare on Elm Street, all-time classic film. So everybody have a good Labor Day weekend. Have a great Labor Day weekend. Stay safe. Don't do anything too crazy. And just have a good weekend. We'll see you guys on Monday. We are out. Peace.
Ohio State.
Fuck Ohio State. Yeah. Good night.